5 days of Dota 2 has led us to this point. Grand finals, Team Secret, Team Nigma. Team Secret is 2 games up in the series here in Tug of War Mad Moon. If they win one more, you guessed it, they will be the champions. The question is, can Nigma put a stop to them? Because they look downright unstoppable. We're going to find out, though. We're going to talk about their chances and what they can do. I'm here with Capitalist. I'm here with Kyle. Gentlemen, we have not seen Secret lose a series in a very, very long time. What is Nigma gonna do to break the streak?
5 seconds remaining.
I would pull out something new. The only concern I have right now with their drafting is it's far more rigid. Not just consistently win, but they're doing it differently. They've got an incredibly diverse hero pool to the point where they're beating people in just completely different ways on a game-to-game basis. Nigma finds a way to win, and then they try it again until it's solved, and then they go on to something new. I'd like to see them perhaps pull out some of more of Wii's specialty heroes. Visage as an example, perhaps even the Pugma. As the crowd is hoping we get...
Yeah, they want more Dota. For sure. I must say, this crowd has been absolutely amazing. I believe the tickets were free to get in, and there was a line starting this morning, and if you wanted to get in, you had to wait for other people to get out.
It was a long line.
Yes, and then there was an extra line, because obviously it's a venue, and then around the seating area, there's still a little bit of a hallway. There was a line there as well to get into the actual seating area. It's
10
crazy,
seconds
actually,
remaining.
out here. It's amazing. We are in the draft. Once again, Secret
5
have left
seconds
IO
remaining.
in the pool. The question is, will they give it a shot themselves? Or will Nigma, for the 3rd time in a row, try it out? They, again, will not be able to get the tiny with it.
I don't think you should. It's obvious Secret are very comfortable with this Rubik against the Wisp. They like going aggressive into the offlane with it. Or just YapzOr. He's just one of the best Rubiks in the world, if not the best. It's hard to say. It's one of those heroes that the game you're watching, the Rubik go off, and you're like, God, he's the best at this. And really, it's just a lot of people equal in regard. I think you gotta do something different. And if you're gonna play against Rubik, I again point to the Visage. Minion creep heroes. Give me a Mind Control Beastmaster. Give me a maybe even a Lycan. Who knows? But I think that those HOD and then not an Enigma. That's not the same. But Visage.
So it's, I think it's interesting the way that Secret are dealing of IO Timber. Like last time around, they were a little bit more assured about it because it was first pick IO, so they could AA right away. Here they grab Rubik. He's still good against the Timbersaw. But simultaneously, you're not committing too much. If it ends up being other than the Timbersaw, like now the lizZard, then fantastic. You still have like really.
Yeah, and it's a different, you're not as afraid of an AA either now, because lizZard kind of runs at the enemy. You're going to buy a BKB, and you just do so much damage that against two squishy supports like Rubik AA, you'd really have nothing against him once you got that spell immunity.
5 seconds remaining.
Rubik's excellent against Lesh. All the spells you steal are excellent, especially if you get stunned. It becomes an instant cast, 3-second AoE stun. Like, that's nuts.
You don't have room for Nyx, though, with the Rubik pick.
I don't think you need it.
Radiant team ban.
They go for the instant morphling. Okay, these 2 heroes. Oh, it's the same as what you just said for the Rubik. Like, you watch that hero and you see the limits that the players, YapzOr and Nisha, take it, and it's phenomenal. And you wonder why you don't see it first phase pick more often. I want to take you back to what we said at the end of the previous game, where we basically strongly suggested to Nigma to let the IO go. Are you okay with it being picked up 3rd time in a row? Like, was the IO not the problem, or the pairing with the IO?
Remaining.
You know, perhaps this is more of that experimentation, right? Try different Wisp partners.
5 seconds remaining.
The repertoire.
You want to practice that in a grand finals?
I wouldn't personally, and I expect they'll have some kind of pocket prepared. I think you got to be thinking about banning Meepo if you're Team Secret. You're going up against last pick Nigma, and I'm looking at this Morphling against Meepo, not the greatest matchup. Same. And I'd like to see that be the style that Nick could execute. They're much more comfortable with this Wisp in a go high ground end game 15-20 minutes in, but they've yet to find anything to do that except the time.
It's not the greatest with partner, but
10 seconds remaining.
Is Timbersaw still in the pool?
5 seconds remaining.
Got to be thinking about that as well. If I'm
For either
both of these teams, good plan. I wouldn't like it as much for Secret. I think that Team Liquid proved at the previous major that Lesh beats Lee. There's just, it's one thing if you see a Wisp Lifestealer, but it's kind of different timings of like, you see a Lifestealer, you know that in the early to mid game, the damage output of the enemy draft isn't going to be scary. When there's a Leshrac, all of a sudden, they can add so much firepower in fifth selections that your Timber might just get run over. It's more of a hero, I think, countered by the overall composition of enemy than just one hero, with the exception of perhaps like an AA or an OD.
Tire team pick.
Puck ban. Let's find out what discussion you feel like they're having right now. Which heroes?
Guys, how the hell are we gonna beat Nisha?
Radiant team pick.
They're just looking over at they're like, you got a hero, right? Like, you got a hero that can beat this in lane, because nobody's been able to do it so far.
I know you asked that in the green room as well. Like, what do you play against Nisha Morphling mid? Like, Weeha has the whole draft to think about what he's gonna play. There's still obviously the chance that Secret's gonna swap it around. You know, Matu plays it as well.
Yep.
But how do you
5 seconds remaining
deal with the Nisha Morphling? Maybe you gotta duo lane it.
Well, we'll find out. So far, a lot of teams have been having trouble,
Yeah.
I like the Oracle pick. We've seen this synergy with the Wisp. I don't, it's a style thing, but I guarantee you Curl's gonna look a lot more comfortable on this hero, and it also sets up their win condition. Spam the heal on the Wisp as he tethers the guy hitting the building. It's also really nice synergy with the Leshrac, who traditionally needs help surviving in the middle of fights. He wants to be fully in the fight, not playing on the outskirts, and an Oracle Wisp behind him helps him do just that. Also, you're playing against the Morphling, to your point, Chiefs. Maybe you just got to play up tempo. This draft so far for Nigma can certainly do that.
And that's the thing that they tried in the first game as well, right? They tried to outpace Secret, and they were very close to do so. Couple changes here and there.
Yeah.
The difference.
You got to be careful not getting
team pick.
baited into maybe taking the Timber. You know, the ET themselves. You know, it's crazy as Secret. The thing, they're like, you ever seen the movie Invasion of the Body Snatchers?
What? No.
They're the remake, doesn't matter. They are so good at so many heroes that they can look at a hero, like Nigma earlier today, you know, and yesterday. They
10
picked the
seconds
CT.
remaining.
They show, hey, this is a really good hero, and it can be played multiple lanes, multiple roles. I guarantee you,
5
Secret
seconds
picking that
remaining.
Elder Titan are comfortable on that as a core, just as much as they are for Puppy, perhaps, if needed. And that's a huge benefit to the team. They don't really need to scrim or even really practice too much to fully understand a hero concept and bring it into the
We've seen
draft.
it core outside of a Meepo matchup, though.
No, we have not.
But Zai's played it. Zai's 100% played it. I'm not certain if it was in a match, but I know he's done it in pub.
But then also Zai used to be a support, so he...
At this point, I mean, I would say Nisha can play anything. I'm sure he'd be the morph, but Matu as well could be that morphling. Another reason that Secret, unlike other teams, can get away with first is that both cores are equal.
Taking their time. And we've seen the IO Oracle combination before. It's very good with saves. It's very
Radiant
good.
team pick.
We have extra saves with us as well. I was thinking about OD, but we have Beastmaster
Tire
coming
team
out
ban.
here.
I like it.
But it is
Admiral
protecting that one
Conca.
hero. We don't have that one hero yet. Or is Leshrac
Correct.
that one hero?
We'll see.
Admir.
That's just so good with the morph, so good with the ET, excellent against the Beastmaster. I like the idea Nigma is going for. I feel like this Beast hero, both to provide vision and to be able to split the map. When Nigma looks good, it's when they're playing in the corners. They need a hero like
10
Beast to be able to do
seconds
that.
remaining.
But right now, I look at this Secret draft and I'm terrified. And this is likely
5
a
seconds
Matu
remaining.
morph now, Nisha Kunka, but that doesn't really give me a sigh of relief if I'm hoping for.
Yeah, they just picked up some like pretty tanky feed team fighters and a little
Radiant
bit of
team
catches
ban.
as well. That all is right in the world.
Oh, yeah.
For Secret. If you're afraid of being run over by Nigma, you resolve that with your last two pickups. You still have a lot of options. There are a lot of team fighter offlaners. Rush.
Is there any risk still of
10
these
seconds
heroes?
remaining.
For sure. I think if I'm Secret, though, you go for something.
5 seconds
to your point,
remaining.
I think free Pango game at the moment for Zy. He wants to go that route. You don't know your matchup, so I'd like to ensure that whatever hero he picks, don't allow it to get screwed in the laning phase. Could even go for a Centaur. The whole pool really is open for him. For Nigma, I think it's got to be something special. The Medusa, is that still in the pool?
Yep.
Troll.
Yeah, one or the other. Oracle Troll, another liquid special. I think that's the sort of thing I like, because you already have the natural steroid and the self-sustain, so you can't kill the Troll, and if he stays alive long enough in the fight, he's just going to kill everything, plus you shred buildings, which is nice when you have to back it up.
But, if they would go for the Troll, it's not very heavy in the old team fight, something that Secret is
Team pick.
quite okay on. They pick the Dragon Knight, get some Terror Push, they ban out a Husker.
Okay, that is likely then a DK mid Zy Kunkka. Or vice versa, who knows?
I was about to say, there's been a lot of off-lane.
Choose your
They
hero.
still go for the OD, which means that the lizZard is the steroid hero.
I really would have preferred a physical damage hero. Their tower damage is now very limited. It's effectively just the lizZard, and you're on a bit of a clock. I know OD owns the morph, but that just is up until the BKB timing.
This is also something that Nigma has been doing for the last 2 patches. If you just go back through, anytime they matched up against a team, and that team picked up a sustained offlaner, one of those tanky boys, and then grabbed a another tanky mid, then they just immediately picked up OD, right? Because this
10
concept
seconds remaining.
of the drawn-out team fights where you in prisons, build up this
5
damage.
seconds remaining.
Heroes are low on mana, like these sort of things that all works to the favor of OD. But Nigma was not successful with it past their run at the minor and the major.
It's a good point too, because if you look at the game, like they have so many resets with the Wisp, with the Oracle. Now you have offensive resets as well, plus the BKB piercing disable of a Beastmaster in a incredibly long fight, right? Nigma will inevitably take it. The question is, can you actually survive long enough to do so? Like, especially when you consider these strength heroes are picking up halberds.
Before you continue analyzing this draft, real quick, it is going to be Nisha Kunkka, Zy is playing the Dragon Knight, Matu Morphling, and on the side of Nigma is the way you expected, Miracle playing the lizZard, Mind Control Beastmaster.
Yeah, to me, if you're going to win this game as Nigma, Miracle's got to play a perfect game. And Secret, you have a lot of people that can go off. I'm going to key in on YapzOr, because against OD, against lizZard, this can be a dream route.
I think it's going to be an interesting game for Miracle for sure. I mean, he's got so many steroids between her and can play aggressively with the Oracle. If he's going to carry any game, it's going to be this one.
All right, let's find out. Can he carry his team to force out more games in this grand finals? We're going to find out together with ODPixel and Lacoste.
Thank you, Steve. Yes, game 3 ready to go between Nigma and Secret here in the grand finals. Secret up 2-0 at the moment. Lacoste,
Your Admiral
what
is
do
on
you
board.
reckon of this draft? What's your heart telling you? What's your brain telling you?
They're once again with all in, but right now the Nigma, they don't have this steroid carry to buff up. It's Lash. He doesn't benefit that much from IO and Oracle sitting behind him. I was expecting something more like late game oriented. Yes, he comes online very quick, but I'm not sure if that's gonna be enough. And I've seen Zy stream Dragon Knight off lane, boy. Meteor Hammer, first item.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure if that's gonna happen, but that's what he was building when he was playing offlane Dragon Knight.
Okay, I'll look forward to seeing that if it does come through from Secret, but we'll find out this game as we get stuck into this one. Game 3, ladies and gentlemen. Are Secret going to be able to walk away with the 3-0, or can Nigma start to try and turn this series on its head? Nigma, very much, I mean, this lineup, once again, it's something that can play very fast, Lacoste, isn't it? You're seeing this
for sure.
There's a lot of tower push in Nigma. They're going to start this game with a bang. Pucky's found in the jungle, and Miracle will kick things off with a first strike.
They have a lineup that doesn't rely on cooldowns at all, besides OD. But even if his ulti is on cooldown, this is the hero that still wants to take a fight. Remember, this is not a faceless void who wants to wait almost 3 minutes. It's a good Rubik game, though. Like, you have Beastmaster Roar to steal, anything from Lash will feel good. Astral, the most important one that you want to go for, defensive. Roar is used, you just Astral someone.
And it'll be interesting to see, sure, the morph, it's here again, like in game one, in a different capacity, though, as we said, in the side lane, Matu playing it rather than the Nisha mid. But that game one, when Secret did try and run the morph, that was the game where Nigma got very close to being able to abuse the time where morph was trying to play out and farm up the E-Blade. That whole sort of opening 22 minutes was a window that Nigma did a good job of getting ahead on. Obviously, their own mistakes sort of shot them in a foot, caused the opportunities for Secret to get back on top. But if Nigma can replicate what they're able to do in game one, they could have another shot at trying to break that high ground before Secret's ready to go with this. Yeah,
the mistake they made in game number one was going high ground before taking the Roche, which kind of backfired.
Your Admiral is on board.
Right now, they also have a nice Roche taking potential. You have Beastmaster with the aura. You have this Lash who deals a huge amount of damage in a short period of time.
And looking at some of the expectations from the lanes, this last pick OD from Nigma in this matchup against Kunkka. Kunkka, a beefy hero, has great wave clear with the Tidebringer, but would you still consider OD a hero because of the melee factor of the Kunkka that can come out on top of this 1v1? Can we help win this lane?
Knowing how good Nisha plays, it could be an even matchup, and if you get the levels early on, on Kunkka, you'll still can go to jungle if things are not going correctly, but I don't think he should have too many issues. Yes, OD, whenever there's an asshole, he's gonna use it, get the deny, and 1 or 2 CS, that's how this lane should go. But so far, Nisha doing extremely good, 7-3 against 5-3.
Yeah, solid start indeed as trade starts off even. The side lanes, interesting to see this time around, obviously beginning with mainly 2v2s rather than any tri-lane action early on. Is this something that we can expect to change? Is anyone going to get left alone, and do any supports have to start getting active elsewhere early this match?
You can leave Dragonite alone for 30 seconds, try to make a move on the mid lane, especially if you have a vision on the rune, and it's Invis rune, but the only one who has the vision of it is Team Nigma, so it's not going to be efficient even if you make a rotation. Nisha harassing him a lot, 2 points inside, they're already doing the work. And look at this.
Embracer nearly out, could secure the wave attempt with the Torrent. Having that second person, still having that South ready to pop if he does get low. Nisha with all the tools to keep himself strong in this lane matchup. 11 for 6 against the 7 for 8, not having any trouble at all so far in these early levels against Weeha's OD.
Dragonite might go for Spirit Vessel this game. It's extremely efficient against these healing 2 supports that Nigma is having right now.
Yeah, even with sort of the ability to dispel off with the Oracle, you'd still see a lot of value in that side.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be situations where Oracle's not able to save, right?
Oh, I said you can leave him for 30 seconds.
Oh, they can land the stun. I mean, maybe they don't even need to land it here. Zy doing his best to try and juke it, but they've got it.
To your elements.
Just alone a little too long. Must have hit the 31st.
Lively now. Your Admiral is on board.
Yeah. Usually I'm not wrong, especially when I am. I don't know.
Now we're seeing down bottom Matu's farm, 13 for 3, mind control, 14 for 6. Solid start on these lanes, 2 for 0. They're already starting to build up a 1K lead.
Yep, we can hear the crowd. They want Nigma to win this game. A lot of cheering when they were entering the stage, and even right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. The fans here, they just want to see more Dota 2. You know it. You know, Secret was down 2-0 at this point. They'd be cheering Secret's name. They want to see more action from these teams. And Nigma, this opening 4 minutes, they're certainly doing it. They're giving it their all to kick this game off to a much better start already than game 2's.
Yeah, 2 Borises. I don't know, I like to call a Boris when we're in the CIS region, you know?
Boris?
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
Doing a lot of work on the bottom. There's a huge amount of slow. Also, should be careful about this Oracle. 2 points in the nuke.
Oh yeah, this is that level 3 on Kuro is when he can really start to hurt. A huge amount of mana to play with, and he's got the 2 mangoes on top of that as well. So a lot of combos to drop if he sees the opportunity to start nuking. He's going to start going on to Matu a bit. Matu's got to be careful on how much he's shifted into the Agi. You cannot underestimate the burst from that level 2 Purifying Flames that Kuro has ready to go. Just continuing to do a good job of trying to push back Matu. Continuing to open up this lane for mind control to free farm as the Beastmaster. Again, Matu really playing on the edge here. Very low. Back
Oh,
towards the
for
bounty
my
room.
gosh.
Puppey will take it away. Mind control will chase him for his efforts, though. The ball coming in, slowing down Puppey. But Puppey's still going to be able to make it over. Take out the bounty room. He's going to be able to TP out easily. There's no burst or catch to stop him. And that's Secret securing all 4 bounty rooms at 5 minutes in.
Even with 4 bounties, it's still an even game.
Yeah, you can see on the CS all 3 of Nigma's cores just on average farming that better than that of Secret. Still the mid lane, it's starting to step up in denies now that the levels there. We are able to utilize the Astrals more frequently to take more away from the Kunkka, but it's the Kunkka. You know, at this point, Niche is going to be able to head to the neutral camps, make sure that his creep hitting stays on top.
Dire structures are fortified.
It's going to be really tough to land any combo from Kunkka. They're safe from Oracle, they're safe from IO, and Astral from OD. But they need to make a lot of mess in the mid game before they can use the Kunkka's
regeneration!
combo.
Secret, they definitely have started to rotate more away from that top, giving Zai that solo area to play. Which means that there's very little pressure on the ledge. Bottom lane, an opportunity's been found. They try for Puppey, but Puppey's back under the tower. Matsu comes forward. Trading harassment, mind control, and a TPM from Yapso. They've got a great sleep setup from Puppey that will allow them to find at least one of these, you'd imagine. He's back onto mind control. They'll take the kill. Kuro's trying for the trade with the purifying flames, but it's not enough. Puppey is able to hide it out in the trees, and Kuro's got to run. Waveform forward. Matsu's looking for a second kill. They don't have enough damage, and we are TPMs there.
As ulti ready, if he can get some charges from that Astral, that's going to be +3, but Yapso gets a kill on Kuro.
Yeah, Kuro steps in and doesn't expect that Fade Bolt to come flying into the side. Top lane, Nigma, they'll find some action in return. They'll move in onto Zai, knowing the Secret. They put all their focus down bottom. The support TPs, meaning there was no backup for Zai available. Nigma could take the kill, and any time they clean up this top lane, Miracle's going to be able to push very, very quickly.
I like how both of these teams are processing information. You see rotation from Yapsor. Dragon Knight falls back to his tower, but the Nigma, they have the movement speed advantage. They get the kill, they get the tower, and this tower is important, not as important as the mid tower, but right now there's no one on the mid lane for a very long time.
Rotation from Nisha, if he wants to use the perfect read of the movement of Kuro. Didn't need an X mark, didn't need a boat, gets him slap bang in the middle of the torrent, and now he has the X and the boat to look for mind control as well. He doesn't even need the boat. Nisha using the minimum, but that's all that's required to get the 2 kills off successfully with a perfect gang.
Well, Nisha is just too good. His performance on the Batrider in the previous game with the node that was amazing. And yeah, I talked about it. He's going for the meme hammer. You might laugh about it, but I did the math.
Okay.
You know, you can stun people for 5 seconds.
5 seconds?
Yeah, if your Dragon Tail is maxed out, especially at the later stages of the game. If this goes to super late game,
you get the
level 20, cooldown reduction, and 2 seconds they'll stun.
All right, big brain plays from Zai. I mean that, you know, then you know it's not like he's the only disable on the team. You combo that with a Rubik, a Kunkka, an Elder Titan. That's hero slammed down for a long, long time. But it is also, you know, you do not see your offlane hero rushing Meteor Hammer that much. Different way to play. We'll see if it pays off. Bottom lane, Nisha tries for the attempt, but there's more than enough save from Nigma. GH and Kuro coming to help out mind control. As Nisha won't be successful this time with the action. Weehar's attention also brought down here. Still looking for an opportunity to use that Sanity's Eclipse to get that easy kill as an OD, but Secret play it safe. They back off and keep themselves away as OD shows himself.
Yeah, they understand that this bottom tower will probably go down. Zai putting a lot of pressure with that ulti.
But off the mark there, Miracle tries to read Zai's movement, but Zai plays the double buff. Bluff keeps moving in a straight line, and the stun's entirely off the mark.
A lot of rotations so far. Matu also pressuring the mid tower. I don't think Kuro solo can stop him. Also, not enough damage on that bottom tower since Miracle moved to the top lane, but they don't have that edict.
And hard for, as you say, Kuro to stop, hard for him to really harass him at all. As with the lifesteal, Matu can always play it safe and heal himself back up to full. Being Creeper here, Weeha is kind of actually shifted. Is it enough?
Yes, it is.
It is indeed. A little too far in Agi, and Weeha sneaking around in the trees catches off Matsumba Man. At 620 HP, you are not surviving that combo. No stacks needed at all, really.
Crowd cheering Riha's name.
They're getting excited.
They want to see more than 3
Radiant's
games.
middle tower is under attack.
Controlled by each team.
And 10 minutes in, so 4-4. A solid start for both lineups. You've got to watch Nigma and see how they're able to really ramp it up. They have this lineup that's very interesting in grouping up as 5. They have multiple ways to keep their cores safe. This Lesh and OD, they can frontline. Lesh is going to be doing the brunt of the damage to the buildings. This OD consistently trying to hold people back with the Astrals, build up those charges and drop the ults to win the team fights.
And he can go ham. There's the 2 saves on Nigma's side. Kanka's combo's not going to be that efficient. This is what I'm afraid of. They're going to mitigate or completely cancel every single time they try to go in with the boat and the torrent.
Trying to set up for something top, but these
Dyer's
walls
top
from
tower is
Nigma
under
give them all
attack.
the information they need. They know that Puppy's around here to back up Zai. May even be tempted to try and go onto the outer Titan if Puppy gets found alone. Miracle, he's going to head over and start to make a move towards him. And in the boost up, there's the Yule setup. They've got the item for the combos.
Dyer's
Puppy
structures
taken
are
away.
fortified.
Zai, he's got to think
Dyer's
carefully about how he
top tower
disengages.
is
He does
under
have a
attack.
TP available, but with the OD coming in, he can't really straight up go for the TP.
It's also reload.
He'll relocate to send him over. He'll turn towards Miracle, trying to stop any
Radiant's
potential with the
bottom
Yule,
tower
but there's
is
still
under
time
attack.
for the Astral to come in. Miracle,
Dyer's
the timing
top
Chell.
tower is
Nisha
under
hasn't got the
attack.
boat to send him to provide him some run. He's not even going to bother. Zai will be left to die. And now Nigma, they may even be able to catch another. The root catches onto Nisha. He's a little too far back. X mark onto Miracle to try and disrupt the combo, but already Weehawk. He's across with the setup. Astral onto Yapsor. Nigma, they should have another here. The boat comes flying across. Another Astral into a stun. Yapsor will fall. Nigma, they're turning it up at the same speed that they were in game 1, and it's starting to be a little too much for Secret to deal with. And Nigma, they're not even done yet. Up towards the tier 2 Puppy. He's attempting to come across, but they'll Astral him up. Stop him from doing any sort of safety play for Nisha. Nisha will fall. Nigma, they're relentless. They ain't holding back yet. Puppy down as well. As Nigma, there's no stopping them. They'll let Kuro die. Maybe he can even mess around with them a bit more. He'll false promise himself. He should
Dyer's
fall
bottom
here.
tower is
Buying
under
time for the
attack.
rest of Nigma to get out. Miracle did go down. So Secret are able to get a core in reaction to it, and obviously not the plan for Nigma. They did not want to lose their
22
Lesh.
stacks on OD, who
he's
has
got
the
the ult.
hammer ready.
Oh, watch out.
Silence.
Careful.
Dyer's top tower has fallen.
Man's going to do a lot of damage.
Dyer's
no.
middle tower is
Oh,
under
Matrama,
attack.
goodbye.
580 HP. I don't think he even needed to use the Astral there, but just to be sure, you know?
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom
Even though
tower
they're
is under
getting all
attack.
these kills,
Radiant
in
structures
terms of
are
network, the game is
fortified.
pretty even, but Nigma can easily explode. They're going to be grouping up with this kind of a lineup, and they're not relying on any kind of cooldowns at
Radiant's
the moment.
bottom tower has fallen.
Zai swarm across immediately. They look to disable the backline. Get this all under control. Good luck there, but there's the jump over GH with the tether. Trying to keep Miracle alive.
Reload.
GH perfectly timed with the save. Kuro will fall, but
I
GH
swallow your
keeping
guts with my
his man
blade.
alive. As Weehawk starts to rack up some of those charges here, building it up. Obviously no ult, so the damage will increase. GH is back in, and he will fall.
Dyer's
For
middle
his
tower
efforts to
is
keep his
under
core
attack.
safe. The 3 cores of Nigma
Dyer's
will live.
structures
They'll
are
have to back away.
fortified.
Secret will get the space to take down this tier 1 tower.
Secret has an answer. You want to run at us, we're going to bring numbers. All 5 heroes on the mid
Dyer's
lane. They
middle
also
tower has
get the
fallen.
tower. Someone should address the problem on the bottom lane. Puppy a bit under-leveled on these heroes. Okay, he got the levels from this. So 3 points in stun, which is going to be pretty much the control in
Dyer's
the
middle
backline
tower
for this
is under
Oracle and
attack.
Dio. If they decide to use the full combo to get a kill. Nisha, I love the build. Going for that Heaven's
Feels
Helper.
like the
Extremely effective
salty
against
air.
OD. Didn't see too much out of mind control. Only involved in one of those kills, but he's getting the farm. Help the Dominator to increase the damage, the extra creep as well.
Yeah, keeping himself just a little bit ahead of that of the farmer's Zai. Zai, I believe he should have the Meteor Hammer done right. Yeah, I think it's just coming out now. So he's got that hammer, he's got that combo. So as long as they can sort of start the fight and find the chance for Zai to offer that follow-up, they will be able to lock heroes down for a long time. The same thing though, they have to try and find the supports in this combo. Otherwise, Kuro with false promises, GH with relocates, will be able to keep Nigma's, core safe every single time.
My pubs are ruined. Thank you, Zai. Meteor Hammer on Dragonite.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
And there we
attack.
go. farming the wave in style.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Sitting back, summoning up those meteors. Doesn't even need to hit a creep. It's all done with the power of the hammer. Problem is this game, the hammer of Weeha is going to be that little mightier. Each time the ult's up, Secret have to be wary of how they choose to fight, as Weeha will look to get involved with the help of GH's relocates.
Usually I'm not a big fan of
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's very situational in my opinion, but here we have extra saves, and that's gonna add one more on top of that. The Team Secret, they're gonna need to find and isolate the target that they want to go for. So using these like multiple stuns, try to fake go and then find a different target.
Full mech done for GH, so now no longer having to rely on the relocate alone, just buffing them up with the heal. That's the Aghanim's done for OD. These items coming together for Nigma, they're going to get closer and closer to the point where they're prepared to really try and force Secret back towards the base. They're trying to take away a tier 2 to open up the opportunity to push on heavily on this bottom lane. Zai popping the dragon form in a sort of an attempt to scare them off, but it is working. Nigma have to be very careful about how they continue this pressure. We saw in game 1, mistakes were made. So far, they've been doing a good job of keeping everything to plan. Careful here now as the stun.
In your hand.
There it is. The defense.
A lot of save. Meanwhile, MoFarah just farming on the mid lane, finding the farm in the jungle. Not even close to that shotgun.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Nigma, they want to get as much done as they can before he plays complete on Morph.
They're gonna go for tier 3. They're ready. 4 heroes are here. Someone's pinging it. It's the Brown.
I mean, how...
OD is missing.
They're going to try and make a go on to Zai. Okay, they're not going to do this time. I believe Yapso's ever break that up a little bit. Zai will be fine. Even if they do get their hands on him, it's still pretty tanky with those stats offered up by the meat.
Oh, OD, perfect rune. He just picked up the haste so he can rejoin his team. Also, there's still one tier 1 tower on the mid standing. They would want to get that before. Look at the aggression from Nigma.
Just making sure no one can leave the base. Trying their best to really assert dominance against Secret.
This ward from Secret near tier 3 tower. They know how Nigma's going to approach this.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
There's the Yules. He is tanky. Now they do it. The boat's going to be coming down to it. They have that run boat. They'll commit the raw onto Nisha. Puppy's going to be able to offer up a stop with the sidelines. Astro's used the stop. Catching the three of them. Stun up the corner. It's a miracle. But Nisha, he's falling low. Can they finish off this Kuga? They can. Nisha will fall. They take away a huge hero from Secret.
They can't chip away any damage on Nigma. They need to, like, I'm not gonna say fully commit because there's a lot of save, but there's no point in harassing them. A lot of save on their side to keep them healthy.
Nigma, no, there's no stopping. They're committed with this draft. They're committed with their items. They are not pulling back away from Secret anytime soon.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Fortification used by Secret slows them down momentarily, but Nigma are not going to back away.
He's alone.
He has come far away from the team. They've got to get over to it. They're heading over. They're going to be able to get her in time. There we have. They do have GH coming in just in time to save them, and now with that backup, they can tell. He was right to trust in his friends to be there in time to make sure the turnaround was in place as the Weeha bait cost Zai his life.
They just invaded enemy jungle and they're not letting go. Did I see that correctly? Is Kanka going for Aghanim Scepter?
He had Radiance queued up, but he's changed it, you're right.
I love that. Random torrents so they can find
Dire's
this
top
Oracle
tower is under
and
attack.
Io in the backline.
Oh yeah, welcome to Water Park. You know, both Morph, he's going to be swimming around, there's going to be waterfalls everywhere. And you're right, a straight torrent, this sort of the range of the ultimate, well, sort of the second ultimate with that Aghanim, it is crazy. It's very likely that one of them will clip an Io or an Oracle trying to get in position, waiting for that time to use a morph.
That's a big kill. He got the morph off.
He did get the shift. The rest of Nigma coming across, but Matu is going to start running. Secret immediately heading over to help out their morphling. They've got to get
please
it quick.
help me.
Matu, and he's back up, and he is going to get it. Poppy's around. Astral set up there, though. Can Secret take a fight? Maybe they'll just sort of let Matu go in. I think they know they cannot really save him. Matu's falling low, and they may save that. All the has to be used. He has wave bomb back up in time. Matu will hit. But Nigma, they're not to whoever's next closest to them, and it is Nisha. Set up there, another stun. They do have sanities available if Weehaw feels the necessity to pop it, and he won't need to for Nisha. Nisha is gone. After it's on, this Aghanim's allowing Weehaw to catch target after target. It goes way to the outside, incredibly low. Finishing it off, but maybe not. They've got nukes. Kuro purifying flames time and time again. That magical burst taking down Zy. The two cores are gone. Nigma, they're ramping it up. We're seeing the magic that has won them the games that has got them to this point in the tournament.
That's how they've been playing. Group up as 5, force enemy to come, have a lot of damage to toss onto the tower.
Tower is under attack.
They're still not going for the Roche. They want to take this outer tier 2 towers.
And you're seeing smart control play as well from Weehaw. 4-0-6, yet to die this game. And he's never panicking with the ultimate. He knows how much scarier Nigma are when they have that available. The only time he's going to drop it is when he knows that there's no chance that Secret can defend a further objective. He's going to save that to the point where he knows they can go for a fight and look to push towards the high ground. And with all tier 2s taken, Nigma, they're building up to that. And it definitely looks like they've learned a lot from what they did in game 1. We're not seeing those same mistakes as they had at the start of the series.
And there are no defensive items right now in Team Secret. No BKBs on their cores, which means the hammer will be extremely effective. And I'm not talking about the Meteor Hammer. Full BKB on him in the 500 gold. They have no abilities that go through BKB unless they steal Roar, which I don't think you even want to steal considering how much the spell and save they have.
Zy. Over they go, trying to push things out on the top lane. It is, you know, sort of another day in the office for Zy, dying once more. But this game round, with the way that Nigma are making so many things happen with each kill they get, you've got to wonder if Zy's going to be able to sort of step back into this game and have impact as a DK. It's not your common offlane hero to do so.
Regeneration. A long way until that Aghanim sector. This is the Roche squad that they can't take. They need to buy time on Team Secret as much as they can, have heroes spinning the waves, but it's not going to be that efficient because there's always GH with the relocate and they can easily set things up. Lash with the boots of travel, Dual Scepter also ready to defend.
And for Secret, what is in their mind the way that they turn things around? Are they waiting for that overextension? Are we going to start seeing Secret smoking up and looking to find pickoffs? Is fighting outside on the map their best bet right now?
No, I don't think they want to have any kind of engagement, just buy time. They have good ways of stopping the push. E-Blade is up on Morph. He just used the TP, so Nigma should do something about it to try to force a fight. So he can't be efficient farming on the side lane and TPing back to home.
And Weehaw is heading in, having that extra cast range with the Aghanims, allows him for the setup. Yapsor stepping forward, the second Astral one again. And a very useful timing gets him in the Astral during the boat, so there's no run buff for Nisha. He is vulnerable. A third Astral, they're closing in onto this Kunkka. Nisha's trying to run. Still not wanting to drop the ult, trying to take him down without it. Nisha will live for that. He's able to TP away. As they don't commit the ult, they'll get Master instead. Alright, maybe not a Kunkka kill, but the more they'll take that in turn.
Yeah.
And up to the high ground they go, 23 minutes in. No question about it, Nigma much more prepared to try and break the high ground this time round.
Structures are fortified.
It's a lot of damage once that glyph is down, and the Edict will be ready in a second. 15 charges on the Bloodstone. This Lash does not give a single damn about any of this chip damage coming up from Secret right now.
Secret, they may just have to let this one go. There's no more 20 seconds. Trying for the combo, Zy, but he gets interrupted straight away by the stun. Zy just getting destroyed by the hits of this ODPixel. This time comes into play by Zy. A little safe as he turns. Dragon Tail and Torrent will stop them from finishing Zy off. But it will not stop Nigma from taking this mid-Rex. 24 minutes in.
Middle barracks have fallen.
Perfect timing for Nigma's lineup, and they are doing it in a way that Secret has nothing to stop them with right now.
If they make one mistake, this game is just over.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
that
attack.
ulti, building up the charges. 26 charges on the hammer.
You gotta watch out for that hammer. You really do. And as you say, you know, Zy's hammer is not the one that's providing any sort of scare for Nigma. Zy steps forward, instantly falls low. A couple of hits will do it. He's probably just gonna die right here. Zy, there's any sort of saving. There is not. Another orb comes through from Weehaw, cleans up Zy. No buyback from him. Nigma taking the second
Radiant's
rack.
bottom barracks are under
As it
attack.
looks like Nigma, they found a way to punish Secret. They've run this
Radiant's
lineup.
bottom
They
barracks
tried
have
it in
fallen.
game 1. It came close to success here in game 3. A different draft, but the same idea, and it's working exactly to plan.
Dire's top
They
tower
can't
is
take this
under
fight.
attack.
OD, this game feels over. They misuse. I mean, they're not even using their spells because they can't heavily commit. There's always another layer of save.
Nisha just watching
Radiant's
from
top
the
tower
tree line.
has
I
fallen.
mean, you have to try. You need to go, even though
They
you
know
don't
he's
have a
there.
clear target.
They're going to try and clear out the trees. They've got the setup. Yours on Tanisha. Astral holding back the backup. Secret, can they get any kills to start some sort of a defense? BKB down there. Get away, 2 goals. Make that free. It's a triple kill for we. GG is full. This is not going to be a Secret 3-0 today. Nigma, they crush game 3.
The insane crowd came to their energy. That's all they needed. Bouncing it. Amazing performance on this OD. I love the Aghanim Center in this situation. They had another save and building up